Hello, this is Alex Voss from TV eCourse, and I'm back to do another product report. Today we're going to do a video switcher. And I do a lot of video work, and I get to work with a lot of different and various kinds of video switchers. And so I wanted to share with you from the perspective of someone who's actually had to use the switcher. You know, lots of times we get product reports, and it's someone that looks at something new out of a box but never has used it. And so they really can't give you the inside information on actually how this will work. And lots of times the manufacturers give people that make product reports the product, and so they're a lot less likely to say anything bad about a product. What I'm going to do is, if there's something bad, I'm going to say it right off at the beginning about a product. If there's something good, I'm going to say that too, because I want you to know what my experience has been with these products. This is a product report on a video switcher. It's the Roland VR-3X. And I don't want to pull any punches on you with this switcher because I've been using it, and I'm going to give you the bad and the good about this switcher. It can be a great switcher for you if you want to use it in a particular application. You don't have a lot of money and you don't care that it's not HD. You know, when you're looking at this switcher, do not let the HDMI inputs on the switcher fool you. This is not an HD switcher. It's a standard definition switcher. The fact that this is a standard definition switcher is something that Roland doesn't really point out too much in the advertising or the literature. And what happens is all inputs that go into this switcher are converted down to 480p standard definition for the internal processing of the switcher. So that means that no matter how good the high definition you take off your camera and you put into this switcher, it doesn't matter. It's going to reduce it down to 480p. That means if you're going like from 1080i to 480p, you're losing a little bit more, maybe about 75% of the information contained in that video is being crunched down to 480p, so you're no longer high definition. It's a good standard definition picture. It'll look real pretty, but it's not high definition. And there is one input on this switcher that will take full HDMI 1080i 1080p, but the first three inputs on the switcher have HDMI ports, but the only thing those ports will accept is a 480p HDMI input. And if you don't have a camera that puts out 480p on HDMI, then it's not going to work on this switcher. It will work on input 4, but let's say you have 4 cameras and all 4 of those cameras don't put out 480p, then only one camera will work on this switcher, so that's a serious concern. You can always hook it up using composite video, but you know, that's really taking the quality way down. I always like to stay in digital if I can. You know, you take a computer output of like a laptop or something, and then it's going to immediately take this high-res computer feed and cut it down to 480p. That means that if your PowerPoints have small fonts, or if there's anything on your computer image that has detail, it's gone. And so, you know, that can be very disappointing if some people put this on the big screen, they take the output of the switcher and put it on a projector, and they get real upset at how what looks really sharp on the computer looks real out of contrast and low on detail on the big projection screen. And so, you know, when it takes the computer feed RGBHV and cuts it down to 480p, you're not going to have very good looking PowerPoints unless you have great big fonts. So you have to watch for that. You know, the other thing that I didn't like about it was that the preview output does not have full motion video. It has that choppy, jumpy video where you maybe get 5 frames per second on some of your feeds, and I find that real irritating. This one also has the HDCP copyright protection, and you know, that is a thing where the people that are concerned about copyright violation got a law passed that said video switchers have to analyze all the video coming in and go to black when we have what looks like a copyright violation. Unfortunately, that doesn't work all the time. You can be using this switcher, you can have your cameras pointed at a scene, and all of a sudden you'll see it go to black, and that's because your video camera, Sony or whatever, somehow or another this made the switcher think you were running a DVD through it or something, and it turned your video to black. And I've been able to go in and check the settings and reset the HDCP and fix it, but you know, if you're in a live shoot and all of a sudden your video goes black on a particular camera, that can be very devastating. I mean, I've been told about this videographer who had a wedding, and he was shooting this wedding, and all of a sudden on the primary camera, when the bride and groom were about to say the I do's, the HDCP decided this was copyright protected content and took the scene to black, and he got sued. And so, you know, that's a story I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know I've run these switchers, and all of a sudden they go to black, and it's because the switcher thinks it's copyrighted content that it's getting put into one of its inputs. It's very disturbing. And actually, usually when I go to the switcher and I reset the HDCP setting to the other position, it fixes it. But that can be very disturbing when you get the new switcher and you haven't really toggled that setting, and all of a sudden you're in black and you don't know why, and you see the little HDCP light blinking. And the other disturbing fact is, you know, they make you're paying for this complex circuit to run in your switcher to analyze all your video. And so that ups the cost of the switcher, which I consider unfair for anyone in video production. And that's what the bad is about this switcher. The good is you can take a lot of different inputs. You'll take composite, RGB component, RGB HV, HDMI, and DVI. Keeping in mind that whatever input you give it is being dumbed down to 480p, you know, so that's not good, but that's probably why you get such a good deal on the switcher. You're still going to have to use the adapters to get in RGB and DVI. It mixes these together. It does a great job. I love the touch screen. You know, aside from the fact it went to black one time on HDCP, it ran great. The outputs also offer a wide variety of outputs: HDMI, DVI, RGB HV, and RGB. And you know, that's a really, really great thing for this switcher. But when you take a picture that comes in from a camera that's full HD, take it down to 480p, and take it back up to 1080i or 1080p, you notice a difference in the picture quality. It still looks good, but it's not HD. You know, now I really like the USB streaming output of this. It's great when you want to live stream video. You just take the USB out of the USB port out of the back of the switcher. You plug it into your USB input in a computer that is you know, good enough or powerful enough to stream. You get your free live stream producer app. Download from Livestream if you want to use Livestream, and you install it on your computer, and then the Livestream producer app will see the feed from this switcher, and it's a great thing, you know. And then you can actually stream for free using Livestream with the free app, even though you could use most any other streaming service that you'd want to with this switcher. I'm just pointing out this is one way to stream for free, and if you want to get a little fancier, you could pay them for the month-to-month service for Livestream. But I just know this works seamlessly with Livestream, and all you have to do is, you know, just go to Livestream. You have to program an event and just go through the step-by-step, and then when you're ready to stream, you just start streaming. You just hit that button and it'll start streaming for you. It's a great thing. Another thing about this that I really like, you can use that stream feed to record. If you want to record a file on your computer of what you're doing live, you can do that. Even though it's not as high resolution as I'd like, it's good enough for YouTube. It makes a great YouTube. And you just download Video Capture VR just by searching for Adderall or Roland VR-50 HD app, and you can get it for Mac or PC, and then you plug in your USB into that Mac or PC, and you can record. You set to what kind of resolution you want, and it's real easy to operate, and you can make a recording of whatever you're switching on the switcher right on a computer. You can't do the streaming and the recording at the same time, usually on any one given computer. So if you want to, you know, record on one and stream on the other, I would recommend that, you know, you're streaming using the output from the Edirol on the USB, and then you're taking the HDMI output of this switcher and you're feeding it into something like a Ninja recorder, which will make a really good HD recording off of this switcher. And then you can get a HD and a you know, and QuickTime ProRes that you can put into like your Adobe Premiere or your Avid or even your Sony Vegas, and you can then edit it even though you're switching it, so you don't have to do a lot of editing. It will run on AC power R12 volt, which is a good thing, and it also has a MIDI control for remote operation. It has a 6-channel audio mixer built in that will take balanced and unbalanced analog audio and also embedded audio from HDMI inputs, and you can mix those together or switch those together seamlessly in this little switcher. The audio input selection is easily done by using the touchscreen and knobs around the touchscreen. It's very helpful. It's a good switcher if you want to do streaming, if you want to do YouTube video, but it's not really that good for full high definition video production because it dumbs everything down to 480p and brings it back up again to simulated HD. But for the price, you can certainly get a lot done with it.